Okay, so I've got my bradawl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my holes a little bit bigger by stretching. I'm holding it right near the edge, but I'm stretching it with the bradawl to make it bigger. Okay, so you can see the hole's getting bigger. Before I actually put it together, I will trial it on the LED before we stick it on. Okay, so you can see they're quite big. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put that over, see if it fits over the LED. Does, nice and easily. Make sure this one does, nice and easily. Yep, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do now is, it's quite easy for the LEDs on fabric to come apart, the linings to come apart. So what we want to do is we want to make sure these actually stay, the two layers stay next to each other where the LEDs are. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bit of PVA glue either side of each of the LEDs. Doesn't matter if you get glue on the LEDs, that will come off as you put it in. Oops, sorry, there you go, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to very gently, I don't want to push it in the wrong place, just very gently push the LED into the hole. Making sure I don't get, I did get glue on it. Making sure I don't get glue on it. Push it into the hole like that, and then just push it down around there like that. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my needle again, and remember we had these two long pieces for the switches. What we're going to do is I'm going to thread my needle, and I'm going to put the thread towards the back like this. It's a bit funny, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with this side, and then bring the thread back to the back like this. So your thread will be like that. That's your front, and that's your back. Cells in there like that. Now what I need to do is I need to bring that through the wadding. So again, I thread my needle with the electronic thread, and I bring it, lift up the wadding and put it through the wadding in the same place like that. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit out, because obviously being fabric, we have that flexibility of the movement. Thread this electronic thread, lift it up again, and put this electronic thread through here like that. Okay, so now we have face down, lining, wadding, and then the two coming through here like that. Then what I need to do is I need to grab my back. Okay, making sure that's the right way round. And I'm going to do it exactly the same. I'm just going to check that it's in the right place. So what I'm going to do is at the top, I'm just going to pin it together like this, making sure that the wadding is on the inside and the lining is on the inside. It's not poking out the edges. Okay, so I've just pinned the top there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to get my electronic thread, and then I'm going to bring it through here like this. Ready to sew on the switch. And I'm going to do the same this side. Pull that forward, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew on our switches. So we have our press stud switch, and it comes in two parts. And the bit that we are going to sew on, whoops, comes in two parts like this. This bit is the switch, this bit is the one that goes on our back. So I just had to change my needle because the needle that I was using only just went through. So I've just changed my needle to make sure it goes through the holes. Because the press stud switches, you might have different sizes. Okay, so I turn it up this way, and again, this is why you need thumbnails. You're going to hold it onto your work like this, and then you're going to put the needle into the fabric rather, and then up through the hole. Now you don't need to do all of the holes with electronic thread. It doesn't matter if you run out, but you do need to do at least one. So it's connecting to the metal. So we've got metal thread sewing on metal press studs. Okay, so I've done 3 there. I'm going to go across. I've come up there. And I'm going to do 3 again here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the needle back through here, like this, and I'm going to tie a knot here. Remember how we tie a knot? I'm going to put the long end through the loop, and then just bringing the loop down with the needle to the edge. If you need to do another one, before the loop disappears, grab the loop like this and drag it down to the bottom so it goes over the top of the other one. I might just do a third one, because we definitely do not want this switch press stud to fall off. Okay, like that. And then it's really important we cut that off, because we do not want those loose threads. Okay, and then you do exactly the same with the other one. And this thread, you'll see, won't have enough to do all of the popper. So I'm just going to do 2, and then I'm going to do my knot in the inside. Actually, I'm not going to do a knot in this, so I'm going to show you how I finish. I do a couple of stitches really tight on top of each other, and then before the loop disappears, see that loop there? Just pull it tight. That's it. And then the rest of it can be sewn on with just ordinary thread. Okay, and then turn it into the inside and then create a knot. You can do a knot if you want, but I prefer to do some stitches one over the other. Go through the loop, do another one, go through the loop, and do another one. And then that's a little bit of a knot. What we need to do now is we need to put the cell in and still check that it works, make sure none of the stitching has come undone. So what we do is we put the cell in, right side up, remember, and we're going to keep it in here now, but the switches aren't, the LEDs aren't shiny yet, because obviously we haven't joined them together. So get something long like a pair of scissors or the bradawl, join your press studs at the back like that, and then turn it over and it will work like that. The minute I take it away, it stops. You can do that with scissors, or you can do that with a needle. Okay, check that still works. Okay, cool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pin the rest of that together. And again, if I wanted to, I can check, just still check, put something on the back like that. Yep, still works. Cool. Now what I'm ready to do is I'm ready to do my blanket stitch around the edge.